Okay, we'll go back to the OzCar situation now, and it might help if right off the top we go through the text of this email, the one that the government says is a fake. And what it says is, "Hi Godwin, the Prime Minister has asked if the car dealer financing vehicle is available to assist a Queensland dealership, John Grant Motors, who seems to be having trouble getting finance. If you can follow up on this ASAP, that would be very useful. Happy to discuss. A." Now, the Prime Minister says that he's had this exhaustive search and of both ends of the thing in Treasury and from his office, and I think Wayne Swan's office. Can't find it. Here he is.
We've asked specifically PM&C's IT unit and Treasury unit to go through everything, including deleted items, and we can't find a thing. If there was something there, folks, I'd be the first one out to tell you.
And most IT experts say that that's true, that you can't permanently delete anything. So do we assume at this point then that is a fake, and therefore, if that's the case, it's Malcolm Turnbull who has the problem?
We assume that the Treasury officer thought that the PM's office was interested in this matter. We know that for a fact because he told the estimates hearing this. But the story is now boiled down to the email, because the email is the one factor that the government can refute, because they're confident that the email doesn't exist. Now, Kevin Rudd won't mention this, but presumably Andrew Charlton has been grilled for the last 48 hours as well. Now,
they've had actually 2 weeks to really go through the records ever since this was first raised.
And they would have been staring him down every other day. Come on, the coalition seem to be pretty confident that you've done this. Have you done it? And his answer would be no, no, no.
And you say that the Treasury's office, though, nevertheless, Godwin Gretsch felt there was some sort of contact from the Prime Minister's office. Andrew Charlton from the Prime Minister's office, his name comes up. Now, when it came up and when that name was put to him, it appeared as if it did ring a bell, but of course political constraints prevented him from saying so. Have a look at how all that unfolded.
Is your recollection that that document emanated from one Andrew Charlton?
Senator, as Mr Gretsch indicated,
Mr Martin, it's not in your knowledge. It must be in Mr Gretsch's knowledge. As to the specific, Mr Gretsch, can you tell us whether it was from Andrew Charlton, to the best of your knowledge, information, belief, recollection?
Senator, and as I've just answered...
Can Mr Gretsch answer one
Senator
question?
I'm just trying to add
without your interference. Mr Gretsch, as has been shown on the Hansard for 2 hours, is capable to speak for himself. Mr Gretsch.
Senator...
No, I don't think your name's Mr Gretsch, sorry.
I will give Mr Gretsch one opportunity before we go to Senator Cameron to answer that question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to defer to the seniority of Mr Martin on that issue.
I find that frustrating, because whether the email exists or not, Andrew Charlton, we needed to get to the bottom of whether the name meant anything to him.
This is not how Parliament is supposed to work. Parliament is supposed to be at the pinnacle of our system of government. Public servants should be allowed to answer directly reasonable questions. That was a perfectly reasonable set of questions. He got constantly interrupted by his superior from Treasury. That should not be allowed. They shouldn't even be allowed to be there if they're going to do that. And then we could have got some follows up. Well, if it wasn't an email, maybe it was a phone call or whatever, or have you mixed it up with something else? Is it an email about another matter or from another office? Yeah. And what that particular supervisor in Treasury should have been doing, and much more attentive to, he should have made sure that no one approached a car finance company, on behalf of a car dealer, one way or the other, looking like they were putting pressure on or requesting that a particular loan be given to that car dealer, regardless of whether or not some politician or minister or Prime Minister had asked them to look into that. All they should have done was say to that person, look here, there's a system set up in which we're trying to prop up these car finance dealers to stop them going under, but you approach the dealer. You don't approach us, or you ask the finance company. You don't expect us to do anything for you.
And had that interference not been run, we would have also gotten to the bottom, in bold terms, of the inconsistency between what Godwin Gretsch told his superiors about what he'd told the journalist Steve Lewis and what he told the inquiry, which is that he had some recollection. He couldn't quite explain why, and it might have been faulty, that he thought he had some signal from the Prime Minister's office that this person was known to them.
Yeah, and if they'd left him alone and let him, then maybe he wouldn't have come across as confused and wouldn't have allowed the ministers to go out and accuse him of that.
Confused. That looked like stress to me. That looked like, and he did make the point that no public service should be put through this. And the government has a plausible denial now because he said that his recollection may be faulty. I don't think the government should be hopping into the public servant. The guy did try to answer every question honestly. He was in the room for a lot longer than he should have been because the interference was being run. And obviously, this troubled him. And I think the government needs to take half a step back and consider its processes here. If somebody in Treasury is troubled by the extent of micromanaging from the Treasurer's Office to the Treasury on behalf of not just one dealer, there's about 3 or 4. Now, Wayne Swan's defence is going to be, in the end, he got not preferential treatment. He got treated the same way I treated about 3 or 4 of the others. The threshold question is whether a Treasurer should be involved at this micro level.
Well, Wayne Swan may say that, but that certainly wasn't in the minds of the Treasury officials. They felt this guy was special, and that they understood that right through to the Prime Minister there was some interest in it. Let's bring Paul Kelly in at this stage and get some background and analysis.